3 years ago, we traded city life in Stockholm for rural living in the Italian countryside of Piemonte. We bought this abandoned farmhouse with a dream and a vision.
But when does anything ever go to plan? There have been unreliable workers, structural, shall we say, surprises, and a whole new culture to adapt to. For the past 3 years, we've been tirelessly renovating this house on a very tight budget.
Join us on this journey as we continue the restoration of this 100-year-old abandoned rustico. Welcome to our Italian dream house, year 4. Only problem now is that we need to get it from France, because this is not from Italy.
3 weeks later.
That, because the facade paint is also so expensive in Italy, it's like $90 per tub.
Yeah.
So we actually saved money on getting
Even
it
by
in France.
driving here.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we calculated it would be about 800 euros in Italy.
Yeah.
And now we got it for like 250 euros.
Great.
Yeah.
Well worth it. Now let's just see how it looks on the walls.
It's gonna look so great.
Cool.
We are back in Italy with 6 tubs, 60 liters of facade paint. Tom Pierre. This should be enough for 2 coats all over the facade of all of our buildings. Right now it's still a bit like humid because it's spring and gets colder at night. So we probably have to wait another month or so before we can paint. But this is seriously exciting.
Whilst we're back at the house, I thought I would take a quick opportunity to tidy up the bull terrace a little bit. So we've been away for the winter and it's sort of overgrown with weeds. I've got a spare hour, so I thought it would be perfect just to see if I can take care of some of this and clean it up, ready for our return to the house. Yeah, so let's go. One thing that I'm looking really forward to is when we get back to the house is I'm going to rent one of these big mulching machines and I'm going to mulch all of this vines and weeds and bamboo which has grown last autumn through the winter up until now since we last were able to take care of it. And we're going to clear all of this hill down here. And then we're going to create some flower beds. So we're going to plant some lavender, some wildflowers, and hopefully the bottom section is going to become completely like a wild meadow. So it's going to be amazing. Almost forgot, I promised Emily that I would take care of this ivy, which has infiltrated her favorite terrace. So let's do that.
Ernie, you managed to poo here. You're meshing out the pool for me.
Line with Ernie's poo. Okay, noted.
3 times 6.
Yeah, correct.
This is where we are hoping to put in our pool for the summer. We have decided, well, we always wanted just like a plunge pool because we think that suits this type of landscape better. So we're gonna put in a 3x6 meter and 1.5 meter deep pool, hopefully. So we've now been measuring out where we want it. Next step is that we need to hire a geometer to send in permissions for the pool. The geometer will also bring a geologist who will make sure that the land here is suitable for the pool. And then they will have to send in the permits both to our local council and to UNESCO. But everyone else we know have got it approved to put in a pool, so we can't see why we wouldn't. But yeah, this is really exciting. Maybe Edward wants to talk a little bit more about the type of pool we are going to use.
Since we are on an exceptionally tight budget and getting a pool is a luxury, we are going to get one that's known as a kit pool. It's a DIY kit pool. So how that works is you dig your hole like you would for any pool, and then you go ahead and pour a concrete slab in the bottom. The kit arrives and it consists of steel panels which are connected with a frame, and then you have a PVC liner which goes inside. So you put all that in place, you build a brick wall around it, fill everything back in the mud to fill in your hole like around it.
The dog is peeing in the background. Sorry.
And then you can build your decking or patio around it on the outside, and we're going to do a red brick edging around it. So the liner, actually in this region, because it does freeze during winter, it's recommended here that you don't have tiled pools. Otherwise you have to keep emptying and refilling them to stop them cracking because the water can freeze. So people that have concrete pools here actually have a PVC liner anyway. So it's the same liner, except that ours will be with a steel frame instead of concrete construction. So yeah, this is the budget way to do it, but it means that you still get a great pool.
But feels and looks the same.
Looks the same, yeah. So we'll hopefully come in the thousands of euros instead of tens of thousands of euros. Fingers crossed that we can get started this spring so that we have it ready for the summer.
Since I have you on camera looking, I will fly. Do you want to walk us through the garden a bit, the other plants?
Yeah, just
plants.
FYI, I am in my slippers.
Yeah, don't step in any kind of poo, please.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with where I'm stood. Right now we have this huge amount of concrete surrounding the buildings. We're actually going to remove all this concrete. It's all really old, there's a lot of cracks in it, and we're going to pour a new concrete slab in an L all the way around the house at 1.5 meters off the building. So we'll have a new 1.5 meter concrete pathway around the house. The rest of the concrete we're going to dig up and remove.
Also with the concrete, it will have the right slope, so water
It will have everything. It'll be perfect. It's going to be the perfect concrete, the best concrete you've ever seen. All right, so over here, obviously we have the driveway. Right now, it feels very integrated with the garden, so it's important for us to create a division to the spaces. So we're going to plant here a hedgerow, first of all. So that will separate the garden from this area, and then we will also plant this way another hedgerow. So it will act as like a screen blocking the driveway from the garden, so that then if we do have a pool and things inside here, nice hanging out areas, you don't have to be looking at cars parked in the driveway. And that's sort of a bit of a theme for the garden, is we're going to have lots of separate usable spaces. For example, we already have the terraces which we've built, and right behind Emily here, once we've dug up this concrete,
which is now a cat litter box.
Yeah, this is very carefully where you put your feet. This will become an outdoor lounge. So all of the garden is going to be a mixture of planting beds and white gravel. And here we will have a set of lounge chairs, a coffee table type outdoor table.
Those lounge
Yeah, probably these ones.
chairs.
We already have them. A nice umbrella, and this will be a perfect place to hang out and have a drink. You're gonna get the evening sun here as well, which is great. You get it both on that terrace and you'll get it here. So it's gonna be an ideal place to hang out. Obviously we have the terrace that used to be a chicken coop. This is gonna become probably like a sun lounge terrace during the day.
Yeah, I think like we had it last summer. I think that was perfect.
Yeah, it's very private over there, and it gets all the sun all day long until about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, so it's perfect for hanging out there all day. The other terrace is going to become a dining terrace. Again, during the summer it has sun all day, and it even gets it till sort of 8 o'clock at night. It gets basically the last of the evening light is on that terrace, so it's great for dining and outdoor eating. Here we have the old tree stump, which has been here probably forever. I think the old owners cut it down 20 years ago. The stump is just slowly decaying and rotting. We're going to remove this, and we're going to put in a plant bed here, and in the middle is going to be a lovely olive tree. So Emily is a little bit obsessed with olive trees. She's going to go and find the perfect one, and we're going to plant it right here. Along the garage, which gets all day sunlight, we're going to put a raised vegetable bed. So the whole length of the garage is going to have a raised bed in probably in like old railway sleepers or wood, and in there we're going to have different vegetables which we can use to cook.
I would even say that, you know, this is warm against that wall all year round. So I say that you could even you could plant things there all year round.
Yeah, for sure. So it gets the winter, the winter sun here, and obviously in the summer it's really hot, but you could change what's planted there based on seasons, obviously. So that's going to be the perfect place to grow some food. Since we love cooking, that's a really good solution.
Do we?
Since you love cooking and I love eating, that's going to be a really good solution. And then as for the rest of the garden, it's going to be a mixture of white gravel with planted beds, probably a lot of lavender, rosemary.
Things I can't kill.
Things that can't kill, but also things that smell good, look good, and can survive both slightly harsher winters and very hot summers. So we'll be doing some research on plants for that. And then for the land, we're just planning to rent a big mulcher, clear it all, put in a few planted beds, and then hopefully do some sort of like wildflower meadow that takes care of itself. And that's sort of the long version.
Cool.
And hopefully we'll get started on that in the middle of March when the weather's warmed up and we've got some permits.
Right now we share our living space with our neighbors. You wanna?
Yeah. So right now it's a see-through fence on the boundary. We're allowed to build up to 2 meters there without permissions. So we'll put up a wood panel fence. That will give some extra privacy in here. And then on the gate, we have a metal gate. So we're going to buy some steel panels, just nice thin ones, weld them on or bolt them on, and paint them in our classic green. And then we'll have some protection from the street as well, and privacy. And yeah, so that's the plan. And we're going to try and create a little bit of a haven in here, because it's going to be a cross between a courtyard and a garden, and we're going to do the best of both. Is this your favorite spot? So you can stand here and take in the view of your kingdom. Everything that the light touches is part of our kingdom. What about where the shadow is? Never go where the shadow is.